I want to say thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me. I appreciate it. I'm so excited to talk to you both, and I'm super excited for your album coming out tomorrow. So that leads me to my first question, which would be, what was the entire concept, or what is the entire concept behind Rebirth?
Well, Rebirth basically, well, it's kind of self-explanatory, but a little deep in another way. Shout out to our label, Universal SRG. Our exec over there, Claude, actually came up with the name just because he was feeling the energy. Like, okay, y'all got new management, y'all got the new label deal, y'all got the new record, y'all doing all fresh new videos, y'all brothers in shape and vegan, and look, man, this the Rebirth. He was all pumped up. But so for us, it's like, that everybody surviving and reemerging from 2020. I mean, yeah. if anything, for real, it's a rebirth for everybody that made it. Shout out to everybody that survived. How about that?
Definitely. And you actually answered my next question. I was getting ready to ask you guys, why the title Rebirth, but that makes totally sense. It makes sense, so I understand. Now, what was the most rewarding yet challenging part about making this album? And either of you can go at the same time, but I would love to hear from you both individually. Like, what was the most rewarding yet challenging part about making this entire album?
I guess the most rewarding part would be, I'll start with the most challenging part. The most challenging part was just getting it done, you know what I mean? Through a pandemic, through COVID-19, all of that kind of stuff.
Distance.
The social distancing, you know what I mean? And all of the stuff that, was going on in 2020, you know what I mean? So there was a lot of challenges there trying to get it done. The Rebirth album is an album that was picked out of, 20 songs almost, you know what I mean? So, and so it was a lot of challenges of trying to get things done, but the rewarding part is the fans, man. Now that we got 3 singles out now, Be the One, Hopeless, and Congratulations. The response has been overwhelming. Platforms like Heart and Soul has picked it up right away. They added all 3 records. So, it's good to see that your hard work pays off and people appreciate and see what you were doing when you was in the studio. You know what I mean? They really feel what we were feeling when we were there creating. So that makes sense. Yep.
Well, for me, I don't even know if we got enough time to talk about the challenges and the rewards. The challenges, I would definitely say, keeping a certain kind of focus, I would probably say, with mentally and physically things going on. It's like, a lot of things shut down, but at the same time, your brain is overthinking, like, okay, what's next? Should I be staying patient, or should I be moving forward? Should I be doing this? Am I doing too much? Like, it's I think a lot of people were at that state at some point, trying to figure out the next move because things were switching up so much. The rewarding part is definitely the fans, man. The fans and the supporters reconnecting. It's like you're making a cake or making something for someone, and in your mind you're like, oh no, it's a nice cake. Then when they see it, they start crying, like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. You're like, okay, that's why I do it. Yeah, that's why I do it. That's what I do. So the fans, their reaction, I mean, we had a couple tearjerkers. We had a couple, we had some teary moments from some fans recently. So for us, that's everything. That's like smiling ear to ear.
You guys have some true and amazing supporters, and you both are so talented. Like, what keeps you all motivated each day to just keep going, whether it's music or just in general? Like, what keeps you guys motivated?
I feel like when a person have a reason why, how becomes irrelevant. You know what I mean? You can go through a brick wall for your reason why. It's like a mother You ever heard of the story that mother that picked up the car for her child? You ever heard that story before?
I don't think so.
It's a real true story. She picked the back of the car because her child was under the car, like a 2-3-year-old child. And it's, been cases of that. But when you have a reason why you're doing something, you can become unstoppable. And I think we've all had a reason. We both had a reason why we're doing it, even when times where we didn't even realize we had a reason why. That desire is what we call it, that's inside of us, that keeps burning. It's like a blaze, you know what I mean? And it has never left us, you know what I mean? And when we got back together, it's now like a bonfire, you know what I mean? And then when the fans say, "Oh my God, y'all should come out with an album," they just putting gasoline on the fire. You know what I mean? So it was like, we had no choice but to do what we're doing. But I would say definitely environment. Environment is so important. You got to be around the right people, you know what I mean? Because you're going to be a product of your environment. If you're around people that don't want you to do it, that ain't doing whatever, you ain't going where you're going, then you might be off track. But we've always been around good people. We've always had people around us that say, "Yo, you need to be singing, man," or "Y'all need to come up," or, you know what I mean? So that was always been our case.
Mm-hmm. And before I continue, I just want to say, with the new music you guys put out and with the new album coming out, to me, I just feel like it feels like real R&B is like coming back, and so we appreciate that. I appreciate this. I love my R&B music, so and I'm loving the new songs. I'm loving it all. So thank you guys for just bringing that true R&B back, because I feel like it's needed. I mean, you have artists out there who have great music, but it's something different with you guys. It's amazing. So thank you so much. But did you want to answer in regard to the last question, or?
Who, me?
Yes.
So the last question was,
what keeps you guys motivated?
Oh man. So I can kind of tie it into what I wanted to say and for real. So we know that we create the soundtracks to people's lives, right? This is something that we looked into and we thought about when we were younger, and we would think about songs like "Keep Your Head to the Sky," Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, and it's like we hear our parents talk and loved ones, and somehow music was always woven into that story. So it's like, when was your first kiss? When was your first? It links up with us with music somehow. So that's a great responsibility. For us to be able to do this music is one of those things. It's like, you got to do an album. It's like, no, we get to do an album. Like, we get a chance to get our creative expression out to the world and connect with people. That alone is amazing. It's amazing when you can go to London for the first time, and I'm thinking Ashton Kutcher about to jump out like somebody punking me, because I'm about to get into the van from getting a kebab. It's called a kebab over there, kebab and fries. And I heard someone call me by my stage name, Chain. And I'm like, huh? Like, he ain't just called me. And he called me. He knew my whole background. He knew where we were from, everything. And to me, that connection alone is like, that's mind blowing. That's stuff I read about in movies. That's stuff I seen in stories when I was younger. So to live that life is priceless. It's priceless for real.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? I'm connecting with people in places I never thought I was even going to visit in my lifetime. So, shout out to all the fans, all the loved ones, man. All the loved ones. We love y'all.
That is amazing. And then my next question would be, anyone can answer. So what do you all love most about this new album, Rebirth? And also, how long did it take to complete everything?
I mean, every album is different, you know what I mean? So this album, we actually started this album in 2019 with a song called All of My Love. And we had a song called All of My Love, Running Through My Mind. was a couple of songs that was written, but All of My Love came out in 2019 on a soundtrack called the Pump Soundtrack. Ray J has a show, TV show on the Urban Netflix network. And it's called Urban Flix is what it's called. So it's like the Black Netflix, if you will, you know what I mean? But we had a song on there called All of My Love, and that was the beginning of it. But you know what happened in 2020 was COVID-19. So it kind of changed the timeline with how things would be. But I don't know how to really answer that. It was just, I don't know what was the last part of the question? Because you asked how long it took, but what was the other part?
Oh, what do you love most about it, the album?
I love most about it that this is really it's David and Dante. It's an album that I produced and we wrote together, and it is really the minds of David and Dante on this album. No, there's no outside influences. Our fans really get to see what's on our heart and what's in our mind, our perspective, how we view the world. And, you know, we get to present it to them, you know, like never before.
That's amazing.
That's good.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to creating music, and not just the album, but music in general, you both are very talented. You mentioned as well, like how you both produced and wrote the album. So what do you prefer? Do you like having the beat complete first, or do you like writing first? Or what's the studio process like, I should say, when it comes to making music?
A lot of times I definitely like, I like to hear the music first. Me as a writer, as mostly a writer, you know, I like to hear the music first. Sometimes just because you're in such a creative space, the song can happen, you know, you can start thinking of music-wise, just a snare. A hi-hat, something like, and just the you know, it happens like that sometimes. But yeah, most of the time I like to hear the music first. Very rarely might start off with a concept first, and then we build the music around the concept. But that is one of the ways we work too. Some, you know, sometimes. So yeah, usually music first.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I want to ask you guys as well, what do you like to do in your spare time when you're not working, when you're not, you know, just being creative? What do you like to do?
You go first on that one, brother. I know what you're going to say. Top off first.
Oh, man. Line in the water. Fish on the line. Fish on the line. Fishing, man. I like fishing. I like outdoor stuff. I build campfires. I do all that crazy mess. Bowling. We might go to Top Golf today after we do all this work. I don't know. But you like to enjoy your life. Like, you know, I try not to make it work, because I'll say my spare time, and then I'll say I like to do voiceovers, but it falls in the category of some kind of, my spare time I like to dance, but then I feel like I'm getting sharp for a show when I'm dancing. Like it's always in there somewhere. Spare time.
Spare time, and never. The writing is always in the spare time. All of that stuff, you know. Spare time, we think about times in the creative process and writing and being in the studio. What helps us to be in the studio is having the spare time to not even write. You know what I mean? To have just thinking time. You know, like, and that helps us when we get in the studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I do a lot of that as well, just relaxing, chilling, thinking, and because that's where new ideas come. And then when I get in the studio, I got a new idea from when I was out at a camp somewhere. You know what I mean? So we like to definitely do other things. For me, movies for sure. I'm a movie buff. I love going to the movies. My older brother Paul used to take me to the movies all the time. I think he was the one that took me to most of the movies growing up when I was a kid, because we didn't really go to the movies as we strict Christian home, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I remember going to the movies with him, and we saw like Purple Rain when it first came out.
Oh man.
And that was like a big influence. I was like, okay. So, yeah, I go to the movies with my son a lot and just kind of spend time with the family, chill. Let me see what else I like to do. That's pretty. I'm boring. I don't really do much.
I feel like, you guys are someone who people obviously look up to and have so much to offer. You've been in the music industry for so long. And I guess what I want to ask, what advice can you give to someone who is scared of chasing their dreams, who is scared of that word no? Because you guys are legendary. Like, y'all have been in the industry for so long, has made so many amazing hits. Like, what advice can you guys give? Because we want to know.
That's a good question. Another good question. Talking to somebody that was the most shy out of the group, who was the most fearful for real, because I came out of the dancing, I dance in a heartbeat, dance and do my thing, singing around somebody. Oh my God, you talking when I swallow, my throat feel like it's in my sock, like, oh my God. So this how I got over it for me. Thinking about regret, thinking about the regret, like the pain of regret, like remembering that, drilling it into my mind, like, do I want to regret not doing, like, being the right person at the right time, or giving my all when the light was shining on me? Do I regret that? Well, I regret that. And people keep saying, you sing, you can do this, you can do that. Like, but I'm shy, I'm nervous. Then a part of my brain is like, man, you got to get over that. you got to grow up, brother. You got to get over that. You got to grow up. So it's self-development, You got to look deep within and say, okay, I'm the master of my story. This is my story. I'm the narrator, and I can do this. There's no reason why I can't. And take the training wheels off.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Now, last but not least, each of you, describe your new album, which releases tomorrow. Describe it in 3 words, each of you.
Let's go back and forth. We go back and forth. We'll go back and forth. I would say prolific.
I was gonna go in that pro word. Classic.
Can I use a conjunction word?
Sure. Use whatever you want to use.
R&B.
I was just about to say that.
R&B, baby. Sweet R&B. Can I throw the sweet on that?
Original.
Yes.
Original.
How many more words I got? I got one more?
One more each.
Innovative.
Okay.
And honest.
Perfect. I definitely agree. I like those answers. I just want to say thank you so much to each of you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to the entire world listening to this amazing album. We're already loving the 3 singles that recently dropped. So I'm so happy for you guys. Congratulations. So it would have to be
waste no time. Congratulations.
Be the One. Right now I'm stuck. Okay, Be the One I'm stuck on, but I love all 3 that recently released, but I'm looking forward to like all the albums. So tomorrow I'm looking forward to it. But Be the One I'm stuck on because I just loved it. I don't know, just everything about it. So.
I love that. That's what's up.
Well, I appreciate the love. We thank you for having us, and we appreciate your platform. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's platforms like this, man, that help the world of R&B.
Help us.
Yeah.
Thank you
helps
so
us
much.
And helps everybody, like all the groups that's like us, man. So we need platforms like that, like yourselves. And we just thank you for having us. At Official Ruff Endz on Instagram, at Official Ruff Endz on Facebook, The Real Ruff Endz on Twitter. We got the new video released tomorrow called Be the One. That's going to be airing tomorrow. They actually premiered it today on Fox DC. But we're going to be in New York City tomorrow at Times Square on 42nd and 7th Street as well. We're going to be doing a outside meet and greet with our fans.
Social distancing,
That's
practice,
amazing.
bring your masks, all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's gonna be lit. We're gonna turn up, and we're gonna be giving away T-shirts as well. Go ahead, one of them T-shirts out of that bag there. We got Ruff Endz T-shirts as well. So if you wanna, you know what I mean, if you can give us your thing, we maybe send one of these out to you though. Unless it's the Someone to Love You T-shirt. But definitely, man, we are doing a lot, and we've got a documentary coming out in a few months as well. So about Ruff Endz. So a lot's going on with us, and we're just working hard through everything that's happening in the world. So stay up with us on our social media, and we'll see you at a concert near you.
That's amazing. I love the shirts. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate the love. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You be blessed.
Thank you.